is Master Within, and you're watching the Master Within live show. Please wait while we begin the session in a few more minutes. Till then, sit back, relax, and let us awaken our mastery within.
Welcome to Master Within. So after a long time, we're back. Hello, am I audible? Where is Bivaswanda? Yes.
Hello everyone. Yes, Tobik, you're audible.
Jai Guru, yes. So it's after a long time, we're back. We're back here at Master Within with us, myself, Shobhik Ghosh, and Reverend Bivaswan Chakraborty Da, my pranam to Dada. And
Tobik,
we have our ideal, Sree Sree Thakur Anukulchandra, as everyone knows, along with us. So it's a very pleasant experience. It has always been a pleasing experience to be with Dada and work together in the light of Thakur and to spread the messages. No matter what we do in our lives, the importance of being and becoming, that is, importance of the uphold of life and growth, has always been an important thing. I think the most important thing. So no matter what we do, no matter what we have in our lives, to uphold the existence and to keep it going in a happy and exalting manner has always been the pivot of everything we experience. So today we are here with today's topic, what's happening around us? And with us, we have our very dear Rohunda, Reverend Bivaswan Chakraborty from Mumbai or Pune?
Pune, yeah.
Yeah, from Pune. And he's a very busy man and also doing Thakur's work in ways that many people cannot understand from the ground level unless they get the austerities, get inside the depth of what it means to do Thakur's work. So, but before that, I would like to know from Rohunda that how are you feeling? What is your experience today coming in this show and having a talk?
So first of all, I would like to offer my pranam to my Lord Ideal and also to all the viewers. And before that, also to Shobhik. Before that, thank you, Shobhik, for such kind words and big words that you have used for me as, like working like that. It's not really like that. Shobhik is one of the most down-to-earth and humble persons I have met. And I have known him since very long time. And we started Master Within together back in 2019 so as to propagate the teachings and principles of our Lord and so as to understand the importance of a concentric ideal in our life. To coming back to your question, I am very good, Shobhik. Thank you. and have been a bit busy lately, but work has never stopped because work has a lot of ways that we do, like studying, understanding, and experiencing. And it was a few weeks ago that Shovik and I we decided that let us begin the live sessions now that it's high time we need to do this. And there's so many events happening all around us, so many learnings that we have gathered, so many understandings, so many experiences that I have, and I am so eager and excited to share with all of you. So it has been a wonderful journey, and with all the memories that we have previously of creating the live sessions and the videos, I think that's it's going to come back now with a bang, and with a lot of content is there waiting for all the viewers. And I'm really excited about the fact that our master has been pushing us to create content in such a way that creates an impact, not just the content to see, but something to learn, to understand, and to experience and to realize how important it is to have a concentric ideal in our lives. So thank you, Shobik, for introducing, and thank you for being the host for today's session. I'm really excited to begin discussing upon what is happening around us. Right.
So it's my pleasure. Whatever he has said, it's out of his own humility, and more than a reality, it's the truth that he experiences. Just now, Dada, I'm turning this into a discussion rather than some kind of a discourse. I
Yeah.
would like to ask you that you just said that Thakur is pushing us, and I think it's quite enigma for many people, that many people think a physicist, I mean, almost physicist like myself, a proper established senior UX designer like yourself. What are we talking about? Thakur pushing us. He's just a
Yeah.
mere image. He can be your great grandfather. He can be my ideal, living ideal, whatever we call him. But how can
Of course.
he be pushing us? Like, what do you mean by pushing? He is pushing us. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So very correctly, you have caught the main point of discussion and main point in the sentence that I said. So when I say Thakur is pushing us, it is basically the universe, right? So Sri Thakur is definitely my great grandfather, but he is part of our life and part of everyone, I believe. And when I say that Thakur is pushing us, it means that it is a realization that is happening out of the experiences that is making us think that it's high time we understand this, we experience this, and we propagate it, and we tell people, share to people, and do the jajan and jajan. That is what it is. It is the realization of the fact that how important it is to discuss Sri Thakur's ideologies and keep making it a part of our life, the most important part of our life. And when I say more specifically that Thakur is pushing us, it's the more we read, the more we do sadhana, the more we try to get attached to himself. We don't only just experience the push, we experience a lot of learnings and a lot of adventures that happens in our life, and we experience decision making, and we experience all the positivity, which is basically what Thakur has been doing to us, which is basically what Thakur is giving us the experience, right? So that is what I meant practically, that we have to do it. That's a realization, that's a reality, and that is just a fact that we need to accept and keep on doing it, right?
Indeed, indeed. And I would like the viewers to know that Rohanda recently had spent a lot of time in France, in Norway, and places like that for your own official professional work. I would like to ask you that the thing that you have mentioned might resonate with many people around, like Indians,
Yeah.
especially. They can understand what it means by looking inside, what they mean by talk about Thakur living. Am I audible? Hello. I think so. I mean, many people can relate to that here, but the places you visited, I mean, the international places and all the. Okay, am I audible?
Yeah, sorry, my phone got disconnected for some time. I
Oh,
apologize
okay.
for that.
Okay, okay. So, I
Yeah.
mean, now you have been listening, right?
Yes, I am listening. You can continue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean the professional people there working in different field of expertise, and how do they relate to this thing? Have you tried talking to them about the living ideal and the importance, their importance in life?
It's definitely so big. So it's not just about the fact that we experience in some other countries or any other part of the world. The realization that I had mostly was what people want to be and become, and the wantness and the need willingness to survive, okay, with people is constant globally. It is not just us for Indians, or it is not just for people from any other country. And it's a blessing to realize that. I believe that through Thakur's ideologies and through Sri Sree Thakur's teaching, I was able to understand that how everyone, every living being on earth thrives for the same thing, right, regardless of their race, gender, ethnicity. And I have been talking to some of the people I met, and I have also been trying to observe the cultural differences between the various countries, people of various countries. But some things are there which remains constant, and that the hunger for love, the hunger for empathy, right? And whenever I realize and whenever I see that among them, I realize what might have Sri Thakur's presence been like when he was there in front of people, how his actions, has left an impact on people's life for generations.
Yes, I totally understand the point. I think there's again some technical issue from his side. Uh, yes, yes, you can continue. Yes,
Let me just change the camera. I think there's some problem with the camera. It's better now.
yes, yes. It's nice. It's nice.
Okay, just yeah. I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience
Okay,
due to
okay.
technical.
So all right, all right. Yeah.
So what I was trying to say is, what I just realized is, it doesn't matter from where the people are. It doesn't matter from which country they are, or what is their race, age, or ethnicity. Some things remain constant, right? And that is their willingness to survive, their willingness to get loved, and how there is a void in most of our person's life. The void is of the presence of a concentric ideal, and how can an ideal make a difference when it comes to overall perspective. So I tried to talk to a lot of people, and I always do that regardless of where I am. And I have been realizing that without a concentric ideal, we can do whatever we are doing. You can see what's happening around us, but we can surely find the void there, right? And it's just uh, it's just a great experience to understand that, and that can only be understood with an ideal in our life. That can only be understood if we see through their eyes, if we see through their shoes. Okay. Yeah.
It had been a kind of intriguing experience for me as well. That when I saw great people like big scientists and many of my professors and everyone, no matter how much at whatever heights they have reached in their professional career on or in their intelligence, I've always seen this kind of ambiguity when it comes to life. They don't find some kind of, I mean, something. It's like they're searching for some internal peace or something like this. Another thing you just mentioned, it's very easy for people to say that universe is doing this, and scientists use this word like nature is doing this. Even Feynman, he also said that nature is very intelligent. I mean,
Yeah.
what is this with this word? I mean, they are so afraid to use the term God, but essentially they are doing that same thing. They're saying that the supreme power, this, that, and effectively they are saying the same thing. What are they might be referring to? I
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah, so it's a very good question. So it's a very correct point that you've mentioned. What I have recently realized out of the experiences is that every one of us in today's world, they love to be independent. Okay, and it gives them a sense of pride. It gives them a sense of confidence, right? But then what misses is to believe that we are not really independent, we are interdependent. Okay, and when we don't understand that part, that we are independent, and when we do not accept the fact, that's where the problem comes. That's basically just the lack of understanding, nothing else. If I want to give an example, I would give the example of any mathematical equation or any simple mathematics that we have done in our 10 12. So I very often relate to when I was studying integration in my class 12, right? And in that, there was a topic called integration by parts. You must be relating to it because you are a physics scholar, and that is in short called ILATE. And for example, if there is a complex mathematical equation, you have to understand it part by part. And integration cannot be done without differentiation, and differentiation is definitely needed. So now you must be thinking, what kind of example you're giving, Rohanda? It's very absurd, but it is not. If you think deeply, you have to understand everything part by part. In everyone's life, whenever we say we are independent, we don't believe in anything like that, any god or something. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But what they need to believe more is the actions. What they need to believe more is the journey, and that is only possible when there is a light, when there is a direction, when people get a direction. When that direction is missing, things fall apart. They cannot be strong together. Uh, that can be seen in the Eiffel Tower, that can be seen in a chain, that can be seen in a keyboard. Nothing can be like that. It's just chemical compounds. Even the most important chemical compounds are also made up of combination of elements in the proper proportion, proper ratio. So each and every one of us should have a goal, and that goal is something that matches with what the ideal needs. And to understand, we need to surrender ourselves in front of concentric ideal, right? So when we do that, things become clear in my perspective. Okay.
Exactly. And whatever you were saying, I just remembered a quote from Thakur's Message Volume 8. I'm just sharing that.
Yeah.
So, this is the quote. In Message Volume 8, in the chapter Science, Thakur speaks in English. He says, Science to discern facts. He says, Science is to discern the facts with the component connection of their constituent parts and the propensous interlinking affinity along with the construction of the whole that carries a meaning of existential lore through analysis and synthetic cooperation of that thing. To make it simple, another important thing, just a segue here, that for many people this kind of language might seem a little bit ambiguous or hard. I used to think that maybe it's to make it more poetic. Maybe it is to make to reach more people using its literature skills. But later on, I realized when Thakur says something, when this man Anukulchandra Chakraborty, this man speaks of something, he does not speak it from memory, not the memory like us. He sees whatever he sees, he says. When we talk about what are you seeing, I am seeing the world as it is at this moment and articulate it. Because we have a constant sense of time, we have something like past, present, and future. We create these illusions that they are different. But for a realized personality like Thakur, who is self realized all the time, for him, everything is like a piece of cake. I mean, a total loaf of cake. And this each slice, something is in the past, something is in the future, and there is just eternal present. So when Thakur says something, it's not like thinking and saying. He's just answers are right in front of him. He can see. So that's why Thakur says science means see ends. The ends, like existence, the noun of the noun of existing, the noun form of existing is existence. Similarly, the noun form of seeing is science, that means science. So that's why the rishis, the ancient scientists, are called rishis. It came from a root word called rik, that means droshta, they who can see. Another name of the rishis is seers. They say, seers, and one who see. That's why Thakur says science is to discern facts. Another thing in this, what I wanted to conclude is that the language used in Thakur's literature are like that. By reading and understanding it is an exercise in itself. When we try to read it, when we try to understand it, that trying itself allows, and it creates an exercise for our brain muscles. By brain muscles, I mean forcing the neuroplasticity inside us, exciting certain regions of the cerebral cortex so that we are forced to change ourselves internally. And by the time we are understanding the verse, at that time, we're actually imbibing the qualities itself. That's the beauty of Thakur's literature. That if I understand it somehow, then it is a gift in itself. It changes me from within. That's why Thakur says science is to discern facts with the component connection of their constituent parts, that Dada said just now, integration by parts. After this differentiation, what they did, we have two kinds of seeing. One is through analysis, another is through synthesis. So after this analysis, we do a synthetic corporation of the thing to look at it in a with togetherness. How they, at first I have to look what these eyes do, what the ears do, what the nose do, and then we will study what they do together. This is a way of approach that Thakur wanted to make us aware of. And it was just a segue, and Dada can continue. I would like to ask this, like the life culture, the way of living of France, where where you were in Paris and all that, the life culture is quite different from India, as much as I know from news and portals. What do you suggest? How can, I mean, what is their taste in spirituality?
Okay. So that's a very complicated question. So before that, really brilliantly you have explained that quote from Sree Thakur from the message volume. I was planning to do the same, but you did on my own. And I'm really thankful for that. Is my audio good enough? I would just
Yes,
like to
yes,
confirm.
that was. I mean, it's better if you come forward, lean forward. Then it's better.
Is it better now?
Yes, it's very good now. I think
Okay.
he was talking about me. Am I
No,
okay?
no. Yeah. It was good.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So you ask about the culture and the taste, right? So it's a very complex yet simple question. On depends upon how we take it and how we decide to answer. So a lot of things are there, a lot of factors are there, right? We all know about the geological factors, the geographical factors that decides the taste and the culture of people. But a country like France, it's way ahead when it comes to modernization. People are really forward. They have a very different kind of thought process. But that's not what I really focused on, right? Because there are something which might not align with what we would like things to be. But what I more focused on was the history and how it was before and how it was made. In today's date, we see difficulties and differentiations in almost everywhere. But for me, it's not what I would focus on. Rather, what I would focus on is the efficiency that people possess there. Efficiency when it comes to work, the efficiency when it comes to, delivering something, delivering a job. Now, that is something that we need to learn from wherever we see, regardless of the country, regardless of anywhere. Now, the fact that people are so efficient when it comes to those places is that the attachment of people with the nation, right? And that is something that is also mentioned in Sri Thakur's ideology, that is universal, that is regardless of any geographical location. When we talk about Arjo Christi Pataka, when we say about Arjo Bharata Varsho Amar, in that song that we pray. That is something that need to realize that every individual is responsible for the well-being of the nation, and that is possible. That is a chain. That is again that we were discussing in the Saturday's Bengali session. That is Adunik Jajon, and it happens with Jajon Jajon Ishtopriti, and a person has to start with themselves. And how it continues is Bhakti Dampati Griho Samaj Rashtro. So a person is responsible for them, and then the family, and then the colony, and then comes the city, and then comes the state, and then comes the nation. So unless and until a person is dedicated to see, unless and until a person is realizing that I want my nation to work well, I want my nation to grow, I want to understand the pain of the individuals, of people that are in my nation, it doesn't happen. And that I have seen there, and that is something I would like to learn. That is something I would really want to research on, how people are doing that, because people are really effective there, and they are so dedicated to whatever task that's given. And one more thing is the positive outlook of life, that yes, everything will be fine, we'll do it, rather than complaining about the negativities or the minor problems that we have. I would like to focus on those aspects rather than many other things that we see today. And also the history, how to preserve your history. Conserving history is very important. So whatever is
You
happening
have
around,
the Louvre there and everything. Paris is so, I mean,
just a
enlightening
very small
there.
part, right? I am very confident that we have even richer history in our country. We have
Yes,
the
yes.
history that we have is timeless. It's like
But
impeccable. You go to Konark Temple, you see some modern technologies there that people are unable to understand how it's happening. The
huge,
Nalanda
huge
University,
amount of things are destroyed here. Like France did not face that kind of damage, like the thing that we have faced.
yeah, it didn't damage, but then Japan faced a big damage, and they stood up
Faced.
stronger, right? So
Yes,
there
yes.
is always two sides there. It definitely depends on what we want today. So let's say, for example, I would like to give an example here and make this discussion more interesting. So let's say I signed up for a cricket match, okay, and
Mhm.
I was confident that I will play with my team. I have a team of 11 people in my team, and I am very interested in playing the match. And somehow I got an injury. Okay, when I got the injury, I got a lot of money from the insurance, and maybe the whole amount was not reimbursed, and I only 20% of the amount got reimbursed, and I have still 80% amount with me. And during the treatment of my injury, I got a lot of comfort. Okay, and I start focusing on the comfort rather than my previous thought that okay, I had a commitment. Now that
Mhm.
difference is the rise of the fall, is the beginning of the end. That is how things begin to fall, right? Now, had the case been that I am more dedicated to my team, I am more dedicated to my task, that would not have happened. You see, Japan, you have seen plenty of scenarios when the country was totally devastated. Most recently being back in 2011, right, when the tsunami came. But you see how Japan is strong. So if you go to Japan, you will see how much humility people possess there. So that is the first
Yes.
step.
I mean, the
Yeah.
first thing that the children there were taught is like that, to say arigato, I mean, thank you, and sorry, gomenasai. These are like ingrained them in them. And also, another important thing that I saw is that in Japan they had to clean their own toilets starting from school.
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
that we have learned here as well, Shodachar, to
Yes.
be responsible for your
I mean,
own
it's
work.
theoretical for a huge amount of people. It's a theory for most of
Yeah.
us. But parents here first would like to give more comfort to their children, like "Na re
Yeah.
baba, shona infection hoye jabe," things like that.
Yeah, that's a perspective of viewing, but I will not say that if unless and until we take the effort to explain them, unless and until we take the effort to make the aware, we cannot just keep on complaining, right? So that's one thing I really liked about the European countries, despite of all the negativities that we keep on seeing on the internet. If we focus on the positive side, is complain a lot, right? It's solution oriented mindset.
What
It's
what
something
is
that,
your
yeah.
in this light? What is your take on this? Like, if we look into US and France, places like that, people don't care much about what is your occupation, they give you equal respect. Like even if you are a taxi driver, or you are I mean, there is no toto there, but here is too many totos. If I am a toto driver, if I am just opening a pan masala shop, and if I am some kind of bureaucrat, there it matters less. Like whether, if even if you are a PA of prime minister, they won't care much. But here, what is your occupation designs your character. I mean, social character at least. How is it in France, and how can we change that? I don't know. I mean, how can we address that? If we say, I mean, practically speaking, if we think like, even our own house won't allow. If I have this need to earn a few pennies here, and if I go and drive a taxi for a few days, my parents won't allow. I mean, the infrastructure is like this. If I want to be a cobbler for a few days, it won't allow. And if you are a Bipro Brahmin, then it's also derogatory. I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm saying that at certain times it is also need of the hour to take a certain kind of occupation, and it's available in France. Do you think this kind of approach towards the society is also a reason for India's decline?
Uh, if we start to disrespect someone based on what their work is, decline will happen, right? So our varnashram, whatever we have in the varna system, never asks us or teaches us to discriminate. Okay, it explains us that what is suitable for which kind of people, where they can do best, where they can excel. The moment you start disrespecting is where the decline will definitely start, without doubt.
Yeah,
That is universal law, right? So I
yeah, yeah,
think rather than disrespect, and if we try to understand what was there previously and what it was designed for, if we focus on that part, I don't think it will decline at all. Because if you look
I
at
think,
the British culture, okay, they follow it very, very strictly. If you have watched the Crown, the series on Netflix, you will see,
yeah,
you will
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
So they're accepting it. They're trying to understand it. There is no discrimination. They accept the
yeah,
fact you cannot touch the queen's hand like that. Okay, many people will see as a discrimination, but if you try to dig deeper and understand the science behind it, understand the logic behind it, it was created for a reason. Okay,
yeah.
but completely remove it and make it extra liberal, I don't think that is also a good sign, because there has to be a boundary for everything in life, right? You cannot place chemicals outside beakers. In a chemistry lab, you see the chemicals are there. Okay, for let's say if
Yeah,
I
they are
just start.
distinguished. They are distinguished with at separate places. Like bases go here, alkalis go here. I mean, things like that.
So there is a science behind that. There has a logic behind that. It is not
Yeah,
discrimination. It is just for it was how it is meant for
distinction.
do
It's
distinction. Yeah,
distinction rather than discrimination.
definitely,
So I
definitely.
think here ideal plays an important role. There are many things. I mean, we cannot learn too many things together. Like I'm knowing about spirituality at the same time. Suddenly, I cannot take this varnashramic thing or a vegetarian diet. Every knowledge, every aspect, I can't take it totally.
Yeah,
At some level, I have to have someone like GPS. At
yeah.
some level, I understand that GPS knows the way, and I have to follow through.
So for me, that some level is at all the levels. Okay, to make the life
Exactly.
more easier and to get it even in a better way. Okay, you can learn. It doesn't matter. You without learning, can you just mix? So let's say you take two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, and just wish that I will match it. I'll mix it with sodium, and boom, you get a result. If you want some that kind of result, you are free to do that, right? It's just like that. But if I just go towards chemistry teacher who has a gold medal in that, he would not ask me to do that. Okay. Now,
Exactly.
again, I would like to explain and give an example there also. Through an example of a series, you must be knowing which series I'm going to quote. It's Breaking Bad, right? If you look at
Mhm.
that, you see even if you have the knowledge, but if you don't have
Heisenberg.
a skill, you could be Heisenberg. Okay, nobody can stop you, but your commitment towards an ideal which will make you realize the importance of a better cause, that is what will stop you from being Heisenberg, and you can become
There,
just Steve Automatic.
there is a good example just came to my mind when you were talking about Heisenberg. It's that I was thinking that if Japan is, I mean, from the point of view of character, from the point of view of social structure, if Japan is so developed, where is ideal there? I mean, where are they using their ideal? Then I just got, I mean, it just came to me that first of all, they have a good family structure. They
Yeah.
respect their parents. That's the first thing. They're not like US, like you are 18 plus, now go away. And it's not like that. And secondly, they have a good culture. I mean, knowledge of culture, Shintoism, Taoism, things like that.
Yeah.
Third thing is that uh, the third thing is that they're always in danger. Some kind of existential crisis is, I mean, is had been on them, like the pressure from China, oceanic pressures, environmental causes had always kept them on the edge. That's also another thing that kept their survival instincts always on. It says in history that the Aryans who came, Aryans had I mean, had a problem that they were always under Arctic dangers. Like they were always under some kind of pressure. They had to
That,
become more intelligent for millennia, so that
yeah.
that made them evolve. So this is a good thing for Japan. But I see, like, if people can say that, okay, then that means they don't need any ideal. uh, there is this thing that actually even they do, because when we look at their structure, like, they are lacking in some parts as well. And it is in the human nature to always focus on the places we lack. Like, even if I am a millionaire, then I will see that I am a millionaire but my kidney is failing. I am a millionaire but I am not becoming a billionaire. So it's always an ask to expand. in
Of
this
course.
way in this way, Japan also has so many really great problems, like their youth. Excuse me. Their
Falling
youth
apart.
are okay, so their youth are becoming some kind of otakus. I mean, they are marrying AI. They are renting girlfriends and boyfriends nowadays. There are rental uncles. They have rental
Okay.
auntie. Yes, they have. You can check out. You can book online, like Blinkit. And also there are things like they have many dangerous things I can't even speak. I mean, they have become a cult. In you can check Akihabara. There is a city, and people are getting wild. And this thing is also spreading throughout the world. Anime is such a great place to use our imagination or expertise. Like Death Note is a great example. But it can also be misused. And we can see another thing, that due to their overwork, due to their commitment to a single company and overwork kind of this thing, there is a great degradation in their population scale.
So
Now
I would
govern
like to add some point there, right? So as you
Yes.
mentioned, right, there's two things there. Okay, over of anything will definitely break things completely. If you over restrict, okay, there will be the placebo effect, and the result would be just dump an explosion that you see in Japan's. You just give the example of the youths. But when there is over liberalism or when there is over freedom, right, you again see an explosion of things happening without control, completely that is out of control. So I was in a job interview like last year, and I was given a topic to discuss on. It was a very critical topic, and I was asked to talk about the fact that why there are so many gun shooting happenings in the U.S. and how can we stop that? Okay, and my answer was we cannot stop it right away. You cannot. It's a process. But then it was a very interesting discussion, right? That in India there is so many problems already happening, but we don't see that level of devastation, even though there we have a lot of negativity, but we don't have that level of devastation in India. You know why? It is just because even though it's broken, we still have the culture intact somehow, even it is broken. That is what is missing in the examples that you gave, right? Even in the US or even in Japan's youths. So it is very important. So if we come to the topic, right, what is happening around us, uh, it's a wake up call, maybe, or it's realization that what is important, what is that we need to focus on. Even though things are falling apart, it's still not broken. It's never too late for us to begin, and it's never too late for us to focus on what is important. That is realize
when
a
you
good.
said that uh,
Yeah.
when you said that it's never too late for us to begin, I was looking at the analytics.
Yeah.
I did not expect that so many people will be watching us today. I thought that
Okay.
since we have been in pause for so many days, and the things, I mean, graphs would be very low, but we are getting viewers even more than Bengali page at certain days.
Okay.
I don't know
That is,
how the people are enjoying, I guess.
I
And
guess
people
so.
should enjoy. People should have good taste. People
People,
should find taste in existential things.
of
They
course.
must be they must be presented in that manner.
I believe that's what is keeping us glued together for a better cause, and that is what is making us what we are. Right.
So since so many people are watching, I would request everyone, whoever is watching, to subscribe to our Master Within page. I mean, not Master Within Bengali. That's another page for Bangla content. There is also this one, Master Within. It's the main international or global wing of Charjasram. This page, where we propagate Thakur Anukulchandra's teaching in the light of the modern day and throughout the world in the global platform. We also have this YouTube channel, and we also have this page, Master Within. Please follow it and spread this knowledge. You can ask any questions to us through our comments, or you can also mail us. We are always available, at least on the chat. And physically, also, uh, we can be anywhere if we try. What'd you say?
Yep, definitely. I would like to just echo what Savik just said. And we also have a lot of content created in our YouTube channel previously. I would urge every one of us to go ahead and just go through those channels. We created some really interesting videos on topics like importance of festivals like Rath Yatra and what science teaches us. We have also tried to create some learning videos from web series. We have created some content, right? Chaos to Cosmos, which is basically what Swavik was talking about, the continuity. So we tried to crack some of the things. So you might just found them interesting. Go ahead, watch those, subscribe to the channel, share with your loved ones, and let us know in the comments what kind of topics would you like to view. And we will keep on making more of the live sessions and videos very soon for you all. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed today's session thoroughly. You said that to finish it by 40 minutes, it's 42 minutes. I think it's going fine. Just to
We
end
can.
it, like
Yeah.
for a newbie and youth like myself and yourself, how come a newbie come? I mean, newbie just get into this and start in the spiritual path. What would you suggest? They have their career, they have everything, a huge baggage of taking the responsibilities. What would be
Yeah.
their step?
Yeah, to just to feel that baggage lighter, I would just recommend them taking some time out and go through the literatures of Mrs. Thakur. To begin with, Satyan Saran, the message, the volumes. It's a really deep and insightful piece of literature that we have. It's not a piece, I would say. It's a ocean of literature that is available on the Master Within store. You can contact us, contact Sovik, and rather than just reading, talking to people about the experience and trying to introspect that what can be improved within one own self and understand and visualize would be very helpful in today's date. In today's
Exactly.
digital vision, digital world, we are lacking the, we have seen a decline and a downfall in reading books. People just don't read today. That is fine. But if you just take some time out, you can just maybe ask AI to, summarize it. It will do it for you. You already know a lot of artificial intelligence tools available. You can just go through that literature and try to understand, maybe write about it, read and talk to your friends, discuss, come to us. If you have any questions, do ask. Stay connected. Because when we say about the topic, what is happening around us, if I have to summarize that, I would say disconnect is happening around us in today's date. People are alone. A lot of things are happening in a negative way. But even in this time, if you have a concentric ideal and if you have the realization, you can find peace there itself, because hard times have always been there, even if you look at history. Right? When Shovik asked me, how was their experience in France? One short, small story I would like to say is that I was on a toot bus. It is a double-decker bus that I took for the city tour, and I just plugged in my headphones, and it was just roaming around the famous places of Paris, wherein the history happened during the French Revolution. And there was one place that is called the Place de la Concorde, where guillotines used to happen. People were punished. People used to be beheaded. You know, we are not going through that now. We are in a much bigger, better time today's day. That you can realize when you find positivity in the tools, when you have positivity, when you know that you have a cause to work on, you have your ideals, you have your ideals intention, you will definitely feel energetic. The better feeling and the great feeling of sharing the ideals, ideologies within ourselves, within your friends, that is something that will keep you alive, and that is something that we have to do. That is what makes us human in the end, right? Realizing, understanding. And I was also looking at a video wherein one person was asking one saint that the Kali Yuga is a bad time. And very correctly, he said, no, it is not. It is just a perspective, how we see it. Definitely negative things are happening, but we have to stay awake. We have to awaken our mastery within, right? So as to survive. And that is the most important desire that all living beings possess, is to survive. And to survive properly, we must surrender ourselves towards the concentric ideals. That's what I have
Exactly.
to.
And whatever the if Satyug, Dwapara, Treta
Yeah.
had been
Yeah.
the very good yugas, if they even if they have been, their assets are available today to a large extent. We have
Everything.
the with challenging times, we have been getting the most powerful Purushottam. With the more dangerous the time, the more powerful the Purushottam. This time the problem is inside, as you just said. The problem
Yes.
is more problem is inside. And we are also getting the investments of our past predecessors. Our brother Shubhajit Ghosh, we have had some kind of social interactions online.
Okay.
How he asked how to get rid of a particular habit. Please give me
Particular.
the right path.
Okay. Okay. So I don't know what is the right path for that. I would just say is to, we all have bad habits, right? Even I had during my college, of procrastinating things and not doing assignments, or just watching movies and ignoring my, like eating nonsense here and there. That's a bad habit. Learn from experiences. Realize why are you saying bad. If you know, if you have the sense of judgment to say that it is bad, you that's the half of the problem is solved. It is just your desire, right? Just to control that, you have to just cultivate the culture, I think, with time.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. To cultivate culture, to he said that half the problem is done. For the second part, what can you do at this moment? I
Yeah.
don't know the situation you are in, but at this moment we can do one thing. There is a Bengali saying by Thakur: "রোখের তোরে বৃত্তি যখন ধরবে তোরে কোষে, সৎ কাজেতে ঝাঁপিয়ে পড়িস, জয় পাবি তুই বসে." The moment you will get that tingling feeling that right now, what is happening? Okay, okay. So right now, if I suddenly feel that I am facing the urge to do this, I have to watch this. If you can manage for 2 to 3 days, just 2 to 3 days, to distract yourself. We can distract ourselves from good things. Similarly, we can distract ourselves from bad things, because it's not us who are distracting. Uh, it's not us we are distracting. It's our mind, and we are different from our mind. So what we can do is we can uh, jump off, change the place of that at that moment, go and do something better. That we saw this thing in Thakur's life with Rasgullas, and there are many other events. He changed many people's life using this. The moment the urge to eat Rasgullas came, he started quarreling with people. Later on he threw his money at the river, so that he cannot buy the sweet, because he was determined that I have to control this feeling inside. I had to control this passion of eating that thing. I have to get the mastery over it. And this feeling, this understanding is very important. Like that, Shubhajit Bhai, you can understand that you have that thing. You can analyze that. It's a you have victory. You have half the winning pot for yourself. You have analyzed your problem.
If
Now
you
it's
have the sense of judgment, sorry, sorry,
yes.
if you have
No,
the
no, no.
sense
It's
of to say that it is bad, you know that it is bad. You already know it, right?
yes.
And
Now it's time to jump at the right work at the right time.
right work at the
Help
right time.
others.
Help others. Try to focus yourself in something better. Just make someone happy, and just try to solve their some small problem. And the feeling that you will get is, I don't. It can only be experienced, right? That is what
Exactly.
Thakur did throughout his life.
Exactly.
Empathy.
Yes. And for the brother, if you don't have mm, two good things to do, you can always contact us. We are always in need of people. You can help us in making our books. You can help us in making videos, help us making articles, and so many work to do. The mission of Master Within is to reach every door. Master Within is the global wing of Chorjashram that was founded by the grandpa of this Dada sitting right beside me. The sole purpose of that was to keep Thakur's literature undistorted and as it is throughout the world, and to maintain the context. Like to one person, Thakur said, "You have to get married." And to another person, Thakur said, "I think you should wait, you should not marry." So we don't understand what is the context. He told someone, "You have to take this roshun,
Yeah,
garlic, eat this garlic and it will cure your cough." But he is also saying that don't take garlic, it is not good for general use. So we have to understand the context as well. So for that, we need a company of devotees as well. We need a company of lovers of existence, and that is Sat Sang. Sat means existential, and Sang means company. So we also need an existential company who is concentric to the ideal, and with the help of that, we can always motivate each other, and through that motivation, we can help. It can help us grow. Like just as a little example, like suppose you have a bad habit, you are going to do that, you're starting to do that. At that moment your friend comes, at that moment your big brother comes. Your big brother is not a messiah, but that big brother alone is enough motivation to not do that bad thing.
exactly. So that's
So
how the universe is designed. You will,
yeah,
it will happen. It will just happen to you. The moment you involve yourself into something that just so weak said, into something for a better cause, that's how the universe starts to work
and I
for
think
you.
no one, yes, and no one can understand this better cause than Thakur.
Thakur.
He's
No
the
one can.
embodiment of goodness. He knows the best thing to do. That's why he is good incarnate or God
That is
in
why he's
human.
good. Good.
God to good. Yeah. So I think our time is almost up.
We are
What do
on
you
time.
say? Any concluding statements for today?
No, I think it was a very good session, Sovik. We just wanted to come and start, give a
Yeah.
kick start to
We also have
what.
we are having people on the line even as we speak. So
Yeah,
thank you everyone for watching. I again pay my respect and pranam to Dada.
yeah. Likewise, I Joguru to Sovik, and please do subscribe to the channel and stay tuned as we are about to come with more content. Keep
Yes, more things.
keep reading the literature. Try to understand Sri Thakur's ideology,
Yeah.
and just awaken the mastery within. That's it from my
Yes.
side.
So
Yeah.
thank you and good night.
Good night. Take
Have a
care.
great remaining time. Joy Guru.
Enjoy.